minds, welcome back to ProjexCellence ProDigy, your one-stop solution for project management and mechanical engineering needs. I am Govind, a certified PMP and mechanical engineering professional with more than 25 years of experience in the power and energy industry. In our previous lesson, we discussed some of the basic terms commonly used in an engine-based power plant, such as installed capacity, generating units, fuel types, engine configuration, base load, standby and peaking operation, gross and net generation, availability, reliability and utilization. In today's lesson, we will continue our discussion and move into some more important performance, operation and maintenance terms which are used in day-to-day power plant activities. We will understand capacity factor, specific fuel consumption, specific lube oil consumption, planned and forced outages, different types of maintenance, spinning reserve, trip, shutdown, derating and black start. And just like part A, we will keep the things simple and practical by continuing with the same example, 45 megawatt large medium speed engine power plant. So let's get started. Capacity factor or CF. Capacity factor tells us how much electrical energy the plant actually generated compared with the maximum energy it could have generated during the same period. Let us understand this using our 45 megawatt power plant. Our total installed capacity is 45 megawatts. Now let us calculate the maximum possible generation for 1 month of 30 days. 30 multiplied by 24, which gives us 720 hours. If our 45 megawatt plant operated continuously at full capacity for all 720 hours, so the maximum possible generation would be 45 multiplied by 720, which gives us 32,400 megawatt hours. Now suppose the plant actually generated 25,920 megawatt hours during the month. So then CF will be calculated with this formula: actual energy generated whole divided by installed capacity into total period hours into 100. So 25,920 divided by 32,400 multiplied by 100. It gives us 80%. Therefore, our plant has an 80% capacity factor, which means it generated 80% of the maximum possible energy during the month. But remember, a CF of 80% doesn't mean that plant was operating at 80% load all the time. The plant may have operated at full load for some hours, at part load for some hours, and may have been completely stopped or on standby for other hours. Capacity factor combines all of this into one overall engine performance figure for the selected period. So capacity factor asks, how much energy did the plant actually generate compared with its maximum possible generation? Now, let's understand two important terms which are related to the consumption and performance of an engine-based power plant. These are SFC, specific fuel consumption, and SLOC, specific lube oil consumption. Both are related to consumption, but they measure different things. SFC is related to fuel consumption, while SLOC is related to lube oil consumption. SFC tells us that how much fuel do we consume to generate 1 unit of electrical energy. And the formula is very simple. SFC equals fuel consumed divided by electrical energy generated. And it is normally expressed in kilograms per megawatt hour or grams per kilowatt hour. And remember, 1 kilogram per megawatt hour is equal to 1 gram per kilowatt hour. Now suppose our plant operates at an average load of 40 megawatts for 24 hours. The total electrical energy generated is 40 multiplied by 24, which is 960 megawatt hours. Now the question is, how do we know how much HFO was actually consumed during these 24 hours? In an actual power plant, fuel consumption is measured through the fuel measuring system. One common method is using a mass flow meter or volumetric flow meter. The mass flow meter measures the mass of fuel flowing through the system and which is recorded in kilogram per hour or tons per hour. The system can also provide a totalized reading, which will show the total fuel measured over a certain period. For example, suppose at the beginning the totalizer reading was 1,250,000 kilogram, and after 24 hours the reading is 1,432,400 kilograms. So our plant consumed 182,400 kilograms of HFO during these 24 hours. Now we can calculate the SFC. So SFC will be 182,400 divided by 960, which will give us 190 kilogram per megawatt hour or 190 gram per kilowatt hour. So in simple words, the plant consumed 190 grams of fuel to generate 1 kilowatt hour of electricity. Now there is another important point. When we calculate actual SFC and compare it with the manufacturer's guaranteed or contractual SFC, we also need to consider the energy content of the fuel, which is NCV, net calorific value. NCV tells us how much useful heat energy is available from 1 kilogram of fuel. Let us assume the contractual NCV of our HFO is 42,700 kilojoule per kg. But when the actual fuel sample is tested, its actual NCV is 41,500 kilojoule per kg. So here, our actual fuel has a lower calorific value than the contractual reference fuel. This means each kg of our actual fuel contains slightly less energy. To make a fair comparison with the contractual SFC, we can correct the measured SFC to the contractual NCV reference. So the corrected SFC will be actual SFC into actual NCV divided by contractual NCV. Our actual SFC is 190 grams per kilowatt hour. Actual NCV is 41,500 kilojoules per kg and contractual NCV is 42,700 kilojoule per kg. So the corrected SFC will be 190 into 41,500 divided by 42,700. So which will give us 184.7 gram per kilowatt hour. So without correction, we may think the engine is consuming more fuel because of poor engine performance. But actually, part of the higher fuel consumption may simply be because the fuel contains less energy per kilogram. So NCV correction allows us to make a fair comparison between actual plant performance and the contractual or reference performance. Now let us understand our next important term, SLOC, specific lube oil consumption. SLOC tells us how much lube oil an engine consumes in relation to its rated power output over a specified period. In simple words, it helps us monitor the lube oil consumption of the engine. SLOC formula is lube oil consumed in kg divided by engine rated power into measurement time. And the result can be expressed as kg per megawatt hour or gram per kilowatt hour. And we know 1 kg per megawatt hour is equal to 1 gram per kilowatt hour. Our 45 megawatt power plant has 5 engines of 9 megawatts each. For SLOC, let us consider one 9 megawatt engine. Suppose we want to measure the lube oil consumption over 24 hours. Whenever we calculate SLOC, we take engine's rated power in consideration rather than the actual load at which the engine was operating. So even if our 9 megawatt engine was operating at an average load of let's say 7 megawatts, we still use its rated output of 9 megawatt. Therefore, the rated energy for 24 hours is 9 into 24, which is 216 megawatt hour. Next step, we check oil consumed in these 24 hours. We take the initial and final readings of lube oil sump level under the same engine and temperature conditions. After that, these readings are converted into liters using the sump calibration chart. For example, if the initial sump quantity is 4,500 liters and after 24 hours it is 4,380 liters. So the reduction is 120 liters. Suppose The lube oil density is 0.9 kg per liter. With this, we can calculate the oil consumption in kg, which comes 108 kilograms. For our 9 megawatt engine, the rated energy for 24 hours is 216 megawatt hours. So SLOC will be 108 divided by 216, which will give us 0.5 kilogram per megawatt hour or 0.5 grams per kilowatt hour. Outages. An outage means a period when a generating unit or sometimes the complete power plant is not available to generate power. Outages are mainly divided into planned outages and forced outages. Planned outages when we intentionally take an engine or generating unit out of service for work that has been planned in advance. For example, like major overhauling, scheduled inspection, generator maintenance, turbocharger maintenance, or major component replacement. Because here the shutdown is known in advance, so it is called a planned outage. A forced outage happens when a generating unit becomes unavailable unexpectedly because of a fault, failure, trip, or other unplanned condition. For example, engine trip, generator fault, turbocharger failure, cooling system failure, or bearing problem. Forced outages reduce the plant availability and reliability. Next term is maintenance. Maintenance means all the activities carried out to keep power plant equipment in safe and reliable operating condition and to restore it when a problem occurs. Maintenance can be broadly divided into 4 categories. Scheduled maintenance. This is the maintenance which is carried out according to a predefined schedule. For large medium speed engines, maintenance is commonly planned based on running hours, calendar time, OEM recommendations, or the plant maintenance plan. Second is preventive maintenance. This is the maintenance which is carried out before a failure occurs with the aim of reducing the chance of equipment failure. For example, changing filters, checking wall clearances, inspecting pumps, cleaning heat exchangers, checking electrical connections. The basic idea is don't wait for the equipment to fail. Maintain it before failure occurs. So preventive maintenance means prevent the problem before it happens. Corrective maintenance. This is carried out when we identify a problem that needs to be corrected. For example, suppose we notice that a cooling water pump mechanical seal is leaking. So in this case, we repair or replace the seal to restore the pump to proper condition. The last is predictive or condition-based maintenance. In this maintenance, we monitor the actual condition of the equipment and use this information to decide when maintenance is required. For example, in our engine power plant, we monitor vibration, lube oil condition, bearing temperature, exhaust gas temperature, cylinder pressure, turbocharger condition, and other operating trends. Suppose vibration readings on a pump gradually increase. Instead of immediately replacing the bearing based only on running hours, we monitor this trend. If the vibration reaches an unacceptable level or indicates bearing deterioration, we put this pump on scheduled maintenance. Spinning reserve. Spinning reserve means extra unused power available from units that are already running and connected to the grid. Suppose 4 9 megawatt gensets are running and each genset is producing 8 megawatt. So total generation is 32 megawatts. So here each genset still has around 1 megawatt of unused capacity. So the total unused online capacity is 4 megawatts. So that can form part of spinning reserve subject to grid and operating limits. Next term is trip. A trip is an automatic shutdown which is caused by an abnormal or unsafe condition. For example, low lube oil pressure, engine overspeed, high bearing temperature, or an electrical fault. Trip is different from a normal planned shutdown. The main purpose of a trip is protection. For example, if the engine continued running with dangerously low lube oil pressure, it could cause serious damage to bearings crankshaft, connecting rods, or other engine components. Shutdown. Shutdown means intentionally stopping a generating unit or sometimes the entire power plant and taking it out of operation. In an engine-based power plant, shutdown can happen for different reasons. Let us understand the three common types. Normal shutdown. It is a controlled stop of generating unit during normal operation. For example, suppose one of our 9 megawatt genset is running, but the grid no longer requires its power. So in this case, the operator will normally reduce the engine load gradually, unload the generator, disconnect it from the grid and stop the engine according to the normal shutdown procedure. There is no emergency or equipment failure. So normal shutdown means controlled stopping of the unit during normal operation. Second is planned shutdown. A planned shutdown is when we intentionally stop a generating unit because some work has been planned in advance. For example, one of our 9 megawatt genset is due for a schedule overhaul. So we arrange the required manpower, spare parts, tools and maintenance schedule. Then the engine is shut down and handed over for maintenance. This period, when the unit remains unavailable because of this work, may be recorded as a planned outage. The third shutdown is emergency shutdown or ESD. ESD is used when a serious or unsafe condition requires the equipment to be stopped quickly to protect people, equipment or the plant. For example, there could be a serious condition like fire, major fuel or oil leakage or another critical safety conditions. So in this situation, continuing to operate the engine could create a greater risk. So therefore, an emergency shutdown is initiated according to the plant's safety and protection system. So emergency shutdown means rapid shutdown to protect people and equipment during a serious or unsafe condition. Derating. Derating means intentionally or automatically reducing the maximum power output of a genset below its normal rated capacity because of an equipment limitation, operating condition or environmental condition. In simple words, the engine can still run, but it cannot safely produce its full rated power. For example, in our power plant, one of the genset can take maximum load of 7 megawatt. So that engine is derated by 2 megawatt from 9 megawatt to 7 megawatt. The last term is black start. Black start means starting a power plant without taking electricity from the external grid. Normally, before starting a large medium speed engine, we need electrical power for several auxiliary systems like pre-lube oil pump, cooling water pump, fuel system, control system, ventilation and other auxiliaries. Normally, this auxiliary power may come from the grid or the plant's own electrical system. But imagine there is a complete grid blackout. The grid cannot provide any electricity and all our 5 main engines are stopped. So how do we start the power plant? This is where the black start system comes into operation. A small emergency or black start diesel genset starts using its own battery starting system. And this black start genset supplies electricity to the essential equipment which is required to start one main engine. And once main engine has been started and sync with grid, the black start generator is stopped. So black start capability helps a power plant to restore after a complete or major blackout without depending on the unavailable grid for its initial starting power. So that brings us to the end of power plant terminology part B. We discussed some very important concepts related to plant performance, operation and maintenance. I hope this lesson has made these concepts simple, practical and easy to remember. If you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe to ProjexCellence ProDigy for more practical lessons on mechanical engineering, power and energy and project management. And as always, stay curious, keep learning and keep growing. Namaste, goodbye, Sampai Jumpa.